I was lucky enough to get my hands on the Target exclusive Turtles of Grayskull M.O.U.S.E.R figure. It is a deluxe figure that carries a $5 premium, and is it worth that extra cost? Keep watching to find out on this episode of Geek Dad Life. This past week, I posted my video review of Wave 1 of Turtles of Grayskull. In that review, you found that I really enjoyed the first wave of figures and look forward to seeing what Mattel does next with this toy line. And then this week, I was able to get my hands on this M.O.U.S.E.R figure, which is a Target exclusive. But I gotta give a big thanks to Dan Crisp, who found this figure and picked it up for me. So thank you, Dan. If you picked up the Walmart exclusive Moss-Man figure, you can probably see a similar approach to the packaging. It has amazing art on the front and the back, and it kind of has this big square box that contains all of the extra elements that a deluxe figure provides. Now, I will say sometimes deluxe figures can feel like just a cash grab, but just based on the box, it does look like we get a lot with this figure, including pieces to a Build-A-Figure called M.O.U.S.E.R. Going back to the art, I love what the Mattel team has done with the Turtles of Grayskull line. They have incorporated those awesome sword and sorcery elements from the original Masters of the Universe toy line, and then incorporated the purple and green colors from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The front of the box has fantastic art of M.O.U.S.E.R as well as some M.O.U.S.E.Rs, and we also got some green slime, some sewer elements, which is pretty cool as well, and then we've got a nice big window for the trap, or I should say M.O.U.S.E.R. On the back, we have a nice big canvas for some awesome artwork. This is a recreation of Trapjaw's first appearance in the mini comics, but now we've got M.O.U.S.E.R as well as M.O.U.S.E.Rs, and instead of He-Man and Teela, we've got Leonardo decked out like He-Man and Teela in her Turtle Tech armor. We've also got more information on the Build-A-Figure Metal-Botto. Excited to put this one together eventually. It's actually one of 4, so I guess we're getting 4 deluxe figures, which is pretty exciting. And we also get a little box that shows that we can insert the M.O.U.S.E.R onto this Mousejaw's arm. And we've also got Trapjaw art on the sides as well, which is really nice. All right, so let's open this thing up. And then on this inside flap, we have how you can detach the legs of the M.O.U.S.E.R and put it onto his little belt, which is awesome. And then you can attach the torso as well as the head of the M.O.U.S.E.R onto Mousejaw's arm, which is a fun feature here. I was hoping we would get a origin story mini comic, but it looks like we just got a card, which is fine. If you have read the mini comic that comes with the Wave 1 figures, M.O.U.S.E.R shows up, but it doesn't explain how he became M.O.U.S.E.R. So I was hoping maybe M.O.U.S.E.R would come with a comic like explaining his side or his part of the story. But it's basically almost like a profile card or a trading card. We have some aspects of what Trapjaw makes up, as well as a M.O.U.S.E.R. There you go. Evil and armed with M.O.U.S.E.R. Mutagen master powers. It's kind of fun, but I think I would have preferred a mini comic given his backstory. All right, getting all of the pieces out of the box, I really do think this is worth the extra $5. We've got our parts for the Metal-Botto, which include the Roboto hand pieces, as well as a newly sculpted arm for that figure. We've also got a blast effect that is translucent. We've got a M.O.U.S.E.R that the blast effect attaches to in the mouth of the M.O.U.S.E.R, which, as we know, will also act as the cannon that it goes in and out, which is pretty cool. And then the Trapjaw himself features a decent amount of reuse if you already have a Trapjaw. His arm, chest, just his face sculpt is very similar to the regular release, as well as the top portions of his legs are mostly reused. The new parts are in his shins and feet, which are really cool. They kind of adapt the M.O.U.S.E.R feet, which is a ton of fun. And then his arm apparatus, both the part that attaches to his chest as well as the arm itself, is slightly different. Again, kind of featuring that M.O.U.S.E.R mouth over the top of his shoulder, which is pretty cool. And then his head is much more M.O.U.S.E.R influenced, which is pretty neat, but he still has the ability to open and close his now M.O.U.S.E.R jaw. I will say I get why they don't have it, because it's trying to look like the M.O.U.S.E.R, but the classic thing about Trapjaw is the little loop that you can put a string in and have him zip line across the room. That is not featured here. But as it said on the box, his weapons derive from the M.O.U.S.E.R that is packed in with this set. So his legs pop off and then attach to his side, which don't really have much functionality, unlike Trapjaw, which has different arm attachments. But you could say you can use the Roboto attachments that he comes with. Or if you already have trap jaw attachments, you can use those as well. But the main purpose of the M.O.U.S.E.R is to attach into his arm cannon. And now he has a M.O.U.S.E.R that acts as his laser gun. And you can attach this blast effect to the laser cannon. And boom, now you have this crazy M.O.U.S.E.R laser cannon. Now, if there's any critique I would have for this attachment is I wish the tail had a bit of a ratchet joint in it, just so I could get the cannon into more poses. I'm kind of stuck with this facing upward pose. It's also ridiculously large. The laser cannon that comes with most trap jaws probably takes about half the space and less of the weight. So if you have the blast effect in, it does weigh it down a bit. So I'll probably just not display it with the blast effect. But even without the blast effect, the M.O.U.S.E.R piece, it's ridiculous, but it is fun. But in terms of articulation, it has everything you would expect out of a M.O.U.S.E.R Origins figure. It's present here, as well as the added articulation that the trap jaw had in the original release in M.O.U.S.E.R Origins. It has the ability to get into tons of poses, as you could do with any other M.O.U.S.E.R Origins figure. I would say the only limiting factor is the M.O.U.S.E.R attachment does add a bit of weight to it. It throws off its center of gravity, so in terms of posing, that can make it more difficult. As for the metal bottom pieces, it's kind of early going. We only have the arm as well as the attachments, so we don't know exactly how that's going to play out yet. But in terms of what we've seen picture-wise, it looks like a lot of fun. I love Metalhead as well as Roboto, so I think it's a really fun combination. So as far as the deluxe figure goes, I think you get a lot of value with this figure. Tons of accessories. I do like the design, even if this mouse arm does kind of throw off its center of gravity. It makes it a little bit more difficult to pose. I do really dig this deluxe figure, and I do think it's worth that extra $5. And it seems like while it was hard to find at the beginning of this week, over the weekend in Raleigh at least, I saw a ton of these figures on the pegs. But I will say Target exclusives tend to be a little bit easier to find than at least the Walmart exclusives. So happy hunting. Hopefully you're able to find this figure if you're looking for it. And if it is plentiful enough, the secondary market prices should stay pretty close to what I paid for this one at around $25. If you like this video and want me to do more like it, definitely hit the like button. And if you want to see future Turtles of Grayskull reviews, hit the subscribe button and that bell icon. Definitely check out my Wave 1 of Turtles of Grayskull review if you haven't done that yet, or this video that YouTube wants you to see. And until next time, hasta luego and goodbye.